America, just about a year and a half ago, I went on the air with one goal in mind, and I can't believe that how much things have changed. You remember, I was in this studio. It looked a little different back then, and I wanted to remind people, wake up! Wake up! And remember the one thing that I think you had forgotten, that you're not alone, that you have them surrounded. And what I meant by that was not that the conservatives have liberals surrounded or the Republicans have the Democrats surrounded. What I meant and what I mean tonight is this: that the average everyday mom and dad and small business owner who lives their lives with the values and the principles of common sense. You have the establishment, the progressive, out-of-control government, the politicians from both sides of the aisle surrounded. The people who actually pay their taxes and don't spend more than they earned. Which one was it? Was it the people that believed in the Constitution, or the out-of-control bureaucrats who could never tell the truth, it seemed? Well, then Rick Santelli went on and he expressed frustration at the government rewarding what he called bad behavior without the mortgage bailout. He said there should be a Tea Party. Wow, he said a mouthful, because that's where it started. He and the rest of America probably never envisioned a day like yesterday happening quite so quickly. And you think that you're defeated because they keep moving forward, but you've won. You've won. The Tea Party candidates racked up more victories last night, this time in Delaware and the New York primaries. Everybody in the media is talking about Delaware and New York, and that's great. But they've missed the complete story. It is not solely about these candidates who won in New York and Delaware. These guys are just the latest. It has happened over and over and over again, and yet the Tea Party keeps being dismissed. In Alaska, Joe Miller beat Senator Lisa Murkowski, but he did more than that. He ended a 3-decade family dynasty. Lisa Murkowski's dad was a senator from 1981 until 2002. In Utah, Mike Lee emerged and incumbent Bob Bennett was ousted. He originally only promised that he'd serve 2 terms and then he'd quit. He served 18 years. Kentucky Rand Paul defeated Republican establishment favorite Trey Grayson. Paul won with about 59% of the vote. The Tea Party is a force. When has something like this happened in politics before? Can you remember a time? Because I can't. It is amazing. No matter how much money, no matter how much the media throws over and over and over again, the Tea Parties grow bigger and bigger and bigger, and the media and the politicians in Washington don't see it. I don't know why I'm surprised. Time didn't even run a picture of the Tea Parties in the Year in Pictures last year. Do you remember that? But I don't know how you can miss it now. Look what you have done. You've done the impossible. You've gone, in 18 months, from feeling helpless to a powerhouse. That my favorite line in the Drudge Report was this morning, and it said, "Establishment freaked." Great! You've done all of this against all of the special interest forces of the establishment. But you'd rather have somebody who's not a good politician but has some common sense. These are regular moms and dads, plumbers, bakers, shop owners. You did it. And when I said you did it, I don't mean you won this election. Last night, you won the election, but this isn't mission accomplished. There's a mighty battle going on. I just wanted to take a moment and say, look at this. Like Ivan Drago in Rocky IV. Yes, I'm going to the Rocky IV well here. Everybody thought he was invincible. He couldn't lose until Rocky landed a punch that cut the Russian, you know what I'm saying? Changed everything. Didn't believe it was possible to beat the machine that they had built. And now they realize it. And now they're freaking out. They don't know what to do. I don't know anything about Christine O'Donnell, but I find it interesting that the establishment is yelling at her, calling her nuts, saying that she hasn't paid a bill. Really? I wonder if anybody in the media will look at her opponent in the general election, Chris Coons. Does the word progressive come to mind? Dare I say it? Marxist. Someone should look into him. They're also saying that she will cost the Republicans a seat because they think that she will lose the general election. It's not about Republicans or Democrats. I couldn't care less about the Democrats or the Republicans. It is about values and principles. And these people are a threat to the power, the little system that both parties have set up that George Washington warned us about. Well, there is good news. There were so many complaints that were pouring into Washington, and the GOP, they were not stupid. They started looking at it and going, wait, and the GOP has backtracked, and now they're going to back her. Yet another victory for the Tea Party. You have done it, and you have done it the right way. You haven't globbed onto some labor union. You haven't tied yourself to big money or special interest groups. Your moms and dads. Despite what Nancy Pelosi says, this is a legitimate grassroots movement that didn't try to trick the American people into a general jingoistic name for their groups like Americans for Successful and Happy America to hide behind. You've done it. Honesty. Decency. Just people coming together. It is the equivalent of David and Goliath. You're up against everyone in this country that has power, and you won! Because you're up front about what you believe. See, I have this crazy little notion that if you just tell American people the truth, they will sense it. If you're lying to them, it will eventually come undone, and then you are toast. But you made your case to the American people, and the people are responding. Wouldn't it be great if everybody in both parties did the same? The progressives who think the Constitution is outdated, hey, why don't you honestly say that? Why don't you, instead of dancing around fancy words, you know why you don't? Because you can't, because you know the American people won't go down that road. So you just smoke your pipe and come up with fancy ways of saying it that people don't understand, or so you think. But Thomas Jefferson was right. The American people may make mistakes, but they will figure it out, and then they will correct it. And you're seeing the beginning of the correction. Let's just have the debate, will you? Don't hide behind groups like Center for American Progress. Just say what you mean and mean what you say. So, last night was a big victory. This movement is bigger than any one election cycle. You cannot turn this ship, which is the size of 1,400 aircraft carriers, around overnight. You can't do it in a week, you can't do it in a month, maybe not even a year. You're certainly not going to do it with one election. It took progressives 100 years to get where they are today, and there's much, much more to do. I also think, remember the old adage that I've been saying to you, the truth shall set you free, but first it will make you miserable. You may have real losses coming this next election season. You might, because the press is not going to do their job. It's going to be incumbent up to you and incumbent on you to get people out to vote. Now, I don't care who you vote for, Republican, Democrat, or Independent, but our founders knew that you were the stopgap. When all three branches of government would fail, you would step to the plate. You've got to get out in record numbers. You have to make this a historic turnout. Who's against this, really, honestly? Limited government, run by we the people, moms and dads and entrepreneurs, and personal responsibility. Who in America could possibly be against that? These things, Democrats want too. Not progressives, certainly not revolutionaries, but Democrats do. So now here's the thing that you have to do. I think this is very important that the Tea Party movement gets this. What was missing in all the coverage of 8/28? I mean, besides any fact. What was missing? Do you remember the buildup? All the hate that will be on display, all the racist or dishonoring MLK. Well, there didn't seem to be any hatred there. The coverage was amazingly not about the crowd. Why? The media, I don't know who suggested that maybe you leave the signs at home. The media wasn't given the opportunity to take anything out of context. There were no signs. Sure, the Huffington Post tried to do the obligatory, look at all the crazy people at the event photo slideshow. Yeah, this guy's crazy because he's wearing a red, white, and blue shirt. These guys are crazy and out of touch. Don't they look like your neighbors? Crazy, the Founding Fathers. This is actually crazy. The Constitution. These are actually from the Huffington Post. This is what they were left with. A shirt that read Restoring Honor to say that's crazy. I mean, who thinks that crazy besides Charlie Rangel? See, here's the media's goal. Here's the establishment's goal. Because I have news for you. GOP was the establishment that Headline was talking about, but That's not the only establishment freaking out. The media is freaking out as well. Anyone who has power, because whoa, 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 we liked you being little serfs. And you're not being obedient. Here's the latest from a new website launched for the sole purpose of making you into the crazy costume person, the racist or the conspiracy theorist. See, look at what they're doing. What are they doing? By the way, who's behind this group? That's Think Progress. That is a left-wing radical website that is, I'm pretty sure funded by Soros. NAACP is this, New Left Media and Media Matters. Can you count the number of times Soros was mentioned without saying his name? Because what we're talking about now are leaders of the free world. You have the character to do that. But they are judging you not on the content of your character, but on your signs and your clothing. Don't give the media even a chance to typecast you. You are in the position of power now, and you are witnessing the beginning of the end of the establishment. You can win. Don't let the GOP or the media or the Democrats saying, that a woman in Delaware can't win. They said she couldn't win the primary. Do you remember that one? Just keep standing for the Constitution. Keep standing for your family. Standing for personal responsibility. Living your life with honor. Common sense, not the parties. That will be the only thing the media will be able to focus on. The content of your character. People will come because the Democrats see it now as well. Be who you are. We, the people, be who you are. Be who you are, because I have seen a lot in the media and a lot of people in the media that work overtime just to make you look like something you are not.